Hey everybody, I'm Josh the RV Nerd, and man has this been a long time coming. The very first of our Alpha Wolf travel trailers finally starting to roll in here at Haylett RV. I don't expect we're going to get a huge wave of them, but we'll finally start to see a trickle of these things. This thing comes in just under 6,000 pounds, by the way. It is an awesome option for some half-ton towing couples camping. Now, obviously, when you say half-ton towing, you need to examine the vehicle in question. But for most tow package, not SUVs, half-tons, this is going to be reasonably towable. This is, if you weren't aware, the travel trailer division of the Arctic Wolf series. It's a member of the Cherokee Laminated series. Like you go, say, like a Gray Wolf to a Cherokee to a Black Label, then finally into an Alpha Wolf, basically. And this is where we start to actually see aluminum framed laminated sidewalls. And I'm going to hit on a whole bunch of things this does. Like the weight category is very good. It is what I call a smart money trailer. There, you could say, yeah, there's certainly this trailer has this or this trailer has that the Alpha Wolf doesn't, but pound for pound, dollar for dollar, this is one of the smartest buys I think I've seen in a long time. They're very good at making sure you hit the big hitter features. I will be fair though, there's a couple areas on this RV where sometimes I think to accomplish a specific weight or price, they might have been a little too conservative, but that's kind of subjective. Overall, I'm very pleased with what I see here, and I think if you take a look, you will too. Now, this is the first of these that we've had, and I would really appreciate all the feedback you folks are willing to offer, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. Let me know what you think about this one. Now, when you first walk in, this is basically what you're gonna see right here from the entry door. It has a good open feeling, the way that the windows are positioned, and the combination of that, and the good light, really kind of a light-dark contrast, but I think overall it reads light more than dark. It gives it a big, large, open feel in here, yet, again, still comes in under 6,000 pounds. It's like 5,975 pounds as we see it here today, which I think reasonably qualifies as half-ton towable. It's in a reasonable length, it's in a reasonable size. You need the appropriate half-ton for it, but I think most common tow package half-tons or bigger like expedition class SUVs are gonna be all right here. I like that kind of simulated live edge that they do here. That's one of the features that they utilize and brought down from the Arctic Wolf fifth wheel brother to this series effectively. You'll see a lot of similarities between them actually. Like if you've never seen an Alpha Wolf, but you've been in an Arctic Wolf, you're gonna feel right at home. There's not a whole lot different here. It's basically just all on one level instead of split up and chopped up into a couple different kind of tiers and levels. Now our entertainment center is straight across from the sofa here. And what I also love is because you have that full window in the entry door, if somebody is knocking on your door, it lets you just kind of stand up and be like, huh, I wonder who it is. And you're like, oh, hey, Ted. Hey, Carol. And if you're Ted and Carol and you're coming over to visit, hopefully you're, bringing something fun to drink or eat or, maybe a game to play or something like that. But what's nice is, although this one has a really good living area, like there's plenty of space in here, this design really lends itself to having some pretty significant storage as well, and it starts right up here, basically. Now, starting behind the entertainment, you have yourself this nice, big, deep walk-in pantry. This actually is very similar, reminds me a lot of the way Freedom Express does a lot of their walk-in pantries. Some camper brands like to do like a swing-out pantry. When it's like this, and there's a different way to get to it, I prefer a door like this so that you don't have to swing and move the entire TV and interrupt the flow of the entertainment. Because if, let me take a seat over here on the sofa. If you do choose to put a TV in the camper, and you're sitting here, the last thing I think you're wanting is for the campsite cook over there to come over and literally move the entire wall like it's some Legend of Zelda super secret kind of thing. I think instead, you would like it. Maybe they have to say, oh, excuse me, and then they walk in the pantry and grab what they need, but in the meantime, you don't have to pause your All in the Family or whatever you kids are watching nowadays. Does anyone even remember All in the Family at this point? Holy cow, I don't even know how that popped into my head today. Heck, I'm a little bit young for that show, but I'm old for my age, so, do the math. It doesn't make any sense. You don't have to think about it. Plywood extension drawers here. I love it whenever anybody segments that top drawer for, fork, spoons, knives, etc. That kind of stuff is always handy. Space for a small wastebasket. And they've got this partitioned off because back there behind that, there's going to be stuff. Like, you notice that there's no floor heating vents in this RV, so your heat ducting actually has to kind of hide back there a little bit. I suspect that's a part of what they're protecting. Probably the water heater itself I can see is back there. I do suspect, though, you would be able to pivot that a little bit and make just a little bit more room for a wastebasket. Now, this is all sealed edge pressed membrane countertops. You'll see that not just here, but also on the dinette, in the bathroom, everywhere. And that sink cover, you saw kind of, it really flush mounts that big skirted stainless sink right there. I love those black stainless sinks that the Cherokee group uses. Something I don't want to miss, though, is this really cool magnet catch. Of course, I'm banging around everywhere. Removable cutting board right there. That is something that Wolfpack first did, that the other, Wolfpack's the toy hauler Cherokee. The other members of the Cherokee family went, oh, that is really cool. I'll take that, thank you. The little exposed kind of farm-style roller hardware, very trendy and chic right now. And I like how they went light with their interior without necessarily being farmhouse, same as everybody else. Now, as long as we're looking at storage, I do want to take a second to crack this open here. You can see a storage chest under there, as well as a pair of full extension drawers below the dinette. But notice that dinette can fold down into a big, big sleeper. Not to mention the fact that you've got this great window coverage over here with those roller-type zebra shades. Now, I always try to be fair. And if I see something I don't like, I also point that out in my videos. Personally, I think it's weird that they only do a window on the back side of the slide. It seems to me this really begs for a window pointing forward onto your campsite right here. Is it going to stop me from camping? Is it going to stop me from buying this RV? No, probably not. And maybe that was the mindset to it. I can understand that because they are trying to target a specific weight and price on this camper. And if you just go whole hog, adding every single thing you possibly could every time, all you're going to do is remake everything that everybody else always has. So we have plenty of other RVs that do that at Haylett RV. But that, to me, if I could change one thing on this RV, that window on that wall right there, that would have been mine. What do you guys think? Or, you know, you like what they did? Here's a benefit, though. If there's no window right there, that also means there's better insulation in that slide wall. That's not a bad thing either. People forget. Windows are cool, but they really suck in terms of R values. Okay, so we can look over here and we can see this little pump and it says hand sanitizing station. And I get that we understand that we could hook that up to a bottle of hand sanitizer or hand soap or maybe even like Dawn dish soap. That would be a neat, interesting little thing to have a dish soap dispenser right there above the farm sink. That'd actually be kind of cool. But, come on. You can't tell me that at least like 3 out of 10 people ain't gonna hook that up to some kind of hooch dispenser. Now, as we're weaving our way up through, one thing I want to point out here is the fact that, like even the stick and tin Cherokees, this does have a standard 15,000 BTU Coleman quiet air conditioning system. I think that's a really big deal to point out because even though this is what I would call a more weight and price sensitive trailer, a smart money trailer, they still are very good. That's the smart money part of it. The really important big hitter features like that, a bigger air conditioner, a 60 by 80 true queen bed that you can walk around here. Those every single day, daily use, I gotta have it, I really need it kind of things. They will always do them here. There's also, you know, they're very smart about little things. They, like, if it costs 2 cents, they're gonna do it. Like just a little place here to be able to hang a couple coats or something in the bedroom. You saw that you got a couple of Drunken Octopus coat hangers in that closet space there. The simple, everyday, man, that would be really handy if I had it kind of features. They're very good about that. Like household and USB outlets on both sides of the bed. Lights, 2 sets of lights above the bed, both in the ceiling and in that overhead cabinet space. Actual hanging closet space. Those things that you need for every single trip, they're here. Now, maybe there's a couple little preferential odds and ends that the RV doesn't have, but think of the weight and the cost those things could add to the RV and what you're saving here. So it's all a delicate balance, I think. Got that electric space heat and fireplace directly across from the entertainment center right there. We've already seen where there can be some storage below that. You could do something like a hide-a-bed option there if you are so inclined. I do like how they framed the windows out. And you might have noticed when we were looking at the dinette and sleeper mode, those are those like pull-down zebra shades. Now, if you're not hot to trot about the blue LED disco light, Above the slide, no worries. That can be completely operated independently of everything else, so you can turn that off if you want to. And that would be accomplished right over here at our master control panel. Now, you've got inside, outside LED lights. Basically, all your ceiling lights are on one handy little switch right there. But what's kind of really handy about this is if you want to, you can grab your phone and sync it to the integrated kind of hidden version of the LCI One control system. That's what these stickers are telling us here. And the main features off this panel, you can operate on your phone. You can also sync it to the rear view camera on this RV via that little QR code. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we go outside. This right here is also prepped and ready if you want to add an LCI like Wi-Fi hotspot, get a signal booster, range extender, you can do that. Now this bathroom's really good. You see you've got the same sliding hardware here on this door that you would have for the main entry door. The thing is though, when you're walking in this bathroom, it feels right. It makes lots of sense. It is not camera friendly. The angles that I'm kind of forced to work with because of that shower partition wall right there, they don't really, they're not really good for what I'm doing here. What is nice though, that big sink with some extra counter space around both sides where you actually have room for things like your, blow dryers or shavers. Porcelain foot flush stool right here, and just to give you an idea, that's fluffy friendly. That absolutely qualifies, I think, as fluffy friendly. Now remember that behind this wall, and this is where they kind of define themselves once again as a little bit different. They turned an otherwise boring wall on the inside of a camp kitchen into a very nice looking feature wall. You've got another little kind of LED accent light right here. But if you open this up, you realize it's like a Aladdin and Jasmine. It's a whole new world in here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not, the urge is there. I'm going to refrain from doing a refrain of a whole new world today. I hope you do appreciate that. Also, I don't want to miss this. Above here, you do have the extra large bathroom fan. So if you've had a little bit of a Taco Tuesday emergency, you can really keep the air flowing and cycling out of this thing. Now, if I spin you around like a record, baby, we see we've got, just like the Arctic Wolves, we got that 30 by 36 inch shower here that gives you a little bit extra headroom. It's got just enough of a shower pan in it where it's still easy to step in, but it doesn't tend to bleed water around everywhere. And once again, just to give you an idea of the headroom, there's a picture of my old goofball self standing in there just to give you a reference point.
So bald, so shiny!
Now from here, if we take a second to close up the slide, that's something I always like to do for you on our videos here at Haylett RV, show them in travel mode. It's a little tight through here where the slide fascia comes right up next to the bathroom door. But obviously, I was able to close the slide and then walk back in here. And just like this, it's not that, we've already got somebody peeking in the windows. Holy cow, it's not even off the delivery truck. It's just been that kind of season. But you see where everything's located in here, we can very easily get to all the core critical, kitchen functions. Ooh, I like that. Core critical kitchen functions. A new nerdism is born, ladies and gentlemen. I believe, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's number 37, by the way. But I always like to shoot you straight. If I see something, I say something. You pretty much lose the bedroom here. Unless you're Mr. Fantastic or Stretch Armstrong, I just don't know how you're going to squeeze around here through that. So, if you appreciate the way that we'll take the extra time and effort to show you sometimes not just where an RV shines, but also a point you really need to consider, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And let's hop outside because there's plenty more good stuff out there. And I tell you personally where I think these guys deserve some high marks is in the curb appeal department. This is, they got I think a smexy overall look going on. And your most popular truck colors out there nowadays are white, silver, and black, or some kind of charcoal variation thereof. And I think this is going to look absolutely fabulous. Or if you got like a nice blue truck, those little deep navy accents in there. I do like how they provide just a little bit of a 3D color pop. They don't feel quite so flat as everything just being like grayscale, like you took a photocopy of a camper. I swear that's how some RVs look. Power tongue jack on the front doing the lifting for us there. And you can see the magnet holdbacks and the slam latches making for easy access in this very large and surprisingly nicely finished pass-through. When I opened that up, I fully expected to just see raw wood construction under the bed deck right there, and you don't see that on here. It's a nice little touch, kind of like the all LED like marker and clearance lights that you see here, not just taillights. Smart little important details. You got the old drunken uncle leash latch right there in case your Uncle Josh comes within 20 feet of a open consumption container. I am about as light of a lightweight as it gets. Man, if there's no food in my stomach, I'm two sheets to the wind with half a drink. It's just how I am. I don't have the constitution for it. But enough about me. Outside entertainment center here, should you choose to add a TV. I like how it's all, first, I like the symmetry of this. It seems like a lot of manufacturers, they'll put a plug here, a bracket there. It's in one spot. It looks nice. Just little things like that kind of speak to me. Aluminum wheel package looking good on here. You see those staple steps with the easy adjust legs. And remember, we have a full viewing window in that entry door. But boy howdy, you sure don't see it out here, do you? Also, very nicely sized patio awning on this. There's plenty of room there. You got room for a picnic table in front of the stairs. You've got room for some outside entertainment chairs. They did a good job sizing that up. And that's one of the kind of symptoms of this being a member of the Arctic Wolf fifth wheel series. All of the hardware that they possibly could use from Arctic Wolf trickled down into these trailers. It's actually a very beneficial way to go about trailer construction because you're standardizing the use and cost of bigger fifth wheel things in a travel trailer. I've seen that done a couple years or on a couple brands in years past, and it always works very nicely. You see you got that handy little drawer over here. This is all galvanized rolled steel, so if it gets wet, it's not a big deal. Obviously, you don't want to just leave it wet and, trap moisture in here, but a real sink with a real drain. And it's a 50-50 split, but I tell you what, they gave up some counter space out here to give us this gigantic refrigerator and freezer. So in addition to the 10.7 cubic foot DC compressor fridge inside, we have an additional 5.7 cubic foot fridge and freezer outside. It's more than just an outside fridge. So if you do a lot of outside cooking or storing or something like that, you actually have more space in here. That gives this thing an equivalent to fifth wheel level cold storage. Now, I always want to be clear about something. This refrigerator is 110 only. You need shore power or a generator to operate it, while the fridge inside is 12 volt. And I agree. I think with most people that definitely does feel like a little bit of a disconnect. Again, I'm always trying to be fair with you. But if you're going to have a big fridge like that, they just don't make a lot of 12 volt fridges that size that are anything close to reasonably priced. That I think if you start checking around Amazon, you'll see what I mean there. So I get why they did it. Now, one of the things I like to kind of show people here too is, can you walk under the outside kitchen door? And yeah, for the most part, I really can. Now, I haven't tested this. If I get right in line with these little catches, hey, no, I can walk right under this without scraping my head. I wasn't sure. Actually, I was sitting there thinking, I might need a Band-Aid in just a second here, but thankfully that was not the case. You can get yourself in and under there, not to mention the fact that notice how it's protected under the awning. That almost surprises me. I think they did more here than I expected them to do, because a lot of manufacturers will shorten the awning over here by the door and say, nah, that big camp kitchen door, that counts as shaded patio space, but they didn't do that here. And what I really like about that is because the door is dead in the middle of the awning. This is the kind of stuff, folks, that as a person who goes camping, I see a little bit differently, I think, than sometimes maybe just an engineer who designs these. Because on a rainy day, if the awning arm is right next to the door, it spritzes you in the face constantly every time you go in and out. Well, now we've got, even on a drizzly day, you can still utilize the patio space as potential camp space, and you can come over here to our little camp kitchenette and do what you got to do. And there is, of course, I haven't mentioned this, but a propane cooker hooker down below there if you want to do some grilling, griddling, what have you now. We've got ourselves a cargo rack on the back here with spare tire. Now that cargo rack's rated for about 200 pounds before the spare tire. So kind of keep that in mind when you're budgeting what you're going to put on this. But extra space for coolers, bring along a bicycle or two, anything like that. A small portable generator if you are going to do some off-grid camping, want to keep that big outside fridge up and running. Also on the back here, you see the LCI Insight camera system. It's not just camera ready. The way that works is this RV has the LCI One control system integrated into it. So if you want to grab your phone and operate like the slides and some of the lights and stuff, you can do that. But that same app syncs with that camera and allows you to see, you could use it for rear campsite security. You can use it when you're backing into your campsite, all kinds of nice little benefits there. Walkable roof, but you notice there's no ladder. Previously, you could build these with an optional rear ladder. However, some things have been changing recently in the RV industry, making it more difficult for manufacturers to include rear ladders due to some basically litigation that has come through the RV industry. So a lot of manufacturers said, I ain't even gonna worry about it. Now, my understanding is there's still backers in this wall to add an aftermarket ladder, but Alpha, Arctic, they're basically no longer even offering a hidden option for rear ladders, which is kind of a bummer. I don't like that. What do you guys think about that? I think that's a bunch of, I don't like that answer, but I am hearing it from more than just Arctic and Alpha, by the way. I'm hearing it from a lot of different groups who have basically said, yeah, like Catalina, not at all related to Arctic and Alpha. They're a Coachman brand. They've said the same thing. Unfortunately, ladders are just becoming something that fewer brands are going to be doing, I suspect. You saw that this is slide awning ready, by the way, and something you can't really see because we don't have a ladder, so I am kind of stuck down here on ground level, is the enclosed, well, no, I'm sorry, not the enclosed heated underbelly, but the walkable roof structure. And if optioned on the Juice Pack solar package, which adds a battery to the RV, 50-watt battery tending solar panel, battery disconnect switch, and a handy little battery monitor there. That is basically just like you see in all the other Cherokee stuff that you have out there. So like I said, please leave me some feedback in the comment section of this one. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you like, what you would change given the opportunity, and overall, if you were, looking for something like this, would this one work for you? That's really the big question of the day, I suppose. And as always, I hope you appreciate the fact that we're happy to show you both the highs and potential points of concern on these things. And if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave us some comments, and let us know how we're doing for you. So as always, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.